and now I sing in thy love I am free. Father, now that I dance in thy name, birds and animals share in my song. All my sorrows, all my merriment, join in music to set hearts aflame. All my sorrows, all my merriment, join in music to set hearts aflame.
Oh, it's chanting. Thank you.
Okay, we'll have a couple of chants to take us into our meditation. The first, no birth, no death. Father, mother,
driving inward. Our affirmation this morning is a wonderful one. It's on energy. Energy is ours, not when we hoard our strength, but when we devote it willingly, joyously, toward the attainment of that in which we deeply believe. Faith and energy go hand in hand. If you have deep faith in what you are doing, you can move mountains. Energy is always highest when one's cause is just. The greater one's faith, the greater his willpower, and the greater his willpower, the greater his flow of energy. I'll read our affirmation once through, and then you can repeat it with me, first in a loud voice, then a quieter voice, a whisper, and silently. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. So let's say this together in a strong voice. Within me lies the energy.
Within me lies the energy
To accomplish all that I will to do.
to accomplish all that I will to do.
Behind my every act
And behind my every act
is God's infinite power.
is God's infinite power.
And now in a normal speaking voice, within me lies the energy
Within me lies the energy
to accomplish all that I will to do.
to accomplish all that I will to do.
Behind my every act
Behind my every act
is God's infinite power.
is God's infinite power.
Now taking this into the subconscious mind in a whisper, within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power.
Is God's infinite power.
And now silently, right at the point between the eyebrows with deep concentration, within me lies the energy to accomplish all I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Please pray with me. O cosmic energy, vitalize all the cells of my body. Recharge my mind with boundless inspiration. Fill my soul with inexhaustible joy.
Okay, we'll have our reading from Rays of the One Light now. Weekly commentaries on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita by Swami Kriyananda. Week 4, the Infinite Christ. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. The Gospel of St. John contains some of the most profound spiritual teachings in the Bible. In the first chapter, many subtle truths are suggested concerning higher stages of self-realization. Here, John the Baptist is described as one reaching up toward that highest state. He was not that light, the Gospel tells us, but was sent to bear witness to that light. Jesus Christ, by contrast, is described as the light itself. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. One essential truth stands out in this teaching, that Jesus came not to dogmatize people with a new teaching, but to bring the timeless, universal truths. Disciples saw the Master clothed in human form and therefore judged him in terms of his greatness relative to the greatness of other teachers. Wisdom, however, sees the Master's very greatness in terms of a cosmic unity. There is a passage in the Path by Swami Kriyananda in which this point is emphasized. The Master Paramhansa Yogananda ji explained, "The saint who attains that exalted consciousness never says, 'I am God,' for he sees it was the vast ocean that became his little wave of ego. The wave, in other words, would not claim when referring to the little self to be the ocean." At this junction, Debbie, who was present, cried excitedly, "But sir, if you are one with that ocean, that means you are God." "Why I?" Master asked. "Say he is God." "But sir, you are one with him and he is the only reality. That means you too are God." "But this body isn't God." "You aren't identified with the body, sir. So one may still say that you are God." "Well, in that case, why do you say you? You too are that." In a discussion of this sort, it's less confusing if we say he. "But what's the difference? The scriptures say," Master began. "It's only your humility, sir," Debbie broke in, "that makes you distinguish between yourself and him." "How can there be humility when there is no consciousness of ego?" Triumphantly, Debbie cried, "But if you have no ego left, that means you are God." Master laughingly continued the earlier statement which Debbie had interrupted. "The scriptures say, 'He who knows Brahma becomes Brahma.'" "There," cried Debbie, "you said it yourself." Master rejoined, still laughingly, "I didn't say it. It's the scriptures that say so." Master, in other words, would not identify those words with the human body speaking them. It was in his overarching spirit that he saw himself one with the infinite. But Debbie was unable to make this mental leap from a pure expression of infinity to infinity itself. "You quoted those scriptures, sir," he reminded Master relentlessly. "That means you agree with them." Recognizing that the distinction was perhaps too subtle for many to grasp, Master concluded, "Well, he who says he is God isn't God." And he added with a smile, "He who says he isn't. And there the subject rested amid general laughter. The greater a spiritual teaching, the more greatly we betray it by particularizing it with dogmas. Truth itself, not the Christian truth or the Hindu truth, incarnates on earth with the birth of a fully liberated master. As the Bhagavad Gita teaches in the 4th chapter, "Unborn, changeless, Lord of creation and controller of my cosmic nature, though I am, yet entering nature, I am dressed in the cosmic garment of my own Maya delusion. O Bharata, whenever virtue declines and vice predominates, I incarnate on earth. Taking visible form, I come to destroy evil and reestablish virtue." Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. Om, Om, Om.
This morning for us from Whispers of Eternity. Make me feel that everything is joy. I am the foam of happiness spumed out of the sea of thy joy. I am the ocean life bounding with the billows of joy. Endless eddies of my laughter spread through all hearts. When the time comes to depart, I will retire to wakeful sleep on the bosom of thy infinite joy, a ripple ever dancing with billows of all joy. I am a bubble of joy, struggling to burst and unite with the ocean of joy. I feel joy in all things. Make me a lighthouse of joy also, guiding storm-tossed vessels of life to safety on the shores of thy joy. Let every vine of my activity bear large grape clusters of thy joy. Let me drink the divine wine pressed from all grapes of all life's little joys. Good morning, great souls, and welcome especially to those with us online today. I know I speak for Gurupriya as well. We are so grateful to be here with you and to share this time. It's a very special time with Kelly's mom passing, and it's a great time to be together as Guru Bhais and to celebrate Kelly's mom and to tune into the joy that she returned to. This is a very fun topic we have this morning. And when I was thinking about it, what really came to mind was what Master talked about, that we're really all in this state of spiritual amnesia. We have a lot of spiritual forgetfulness, and we start to identify ourselves very readily with our bodies and someone else's bodies, the Master's body, and we start to think that that's who we are, just like Debbie, the disciple, said, then you are God, right? And we get very confused about this. A reading that comes to mind from Yogananda that speaks directly to this. He said, self-realization is the knowing in body, mind, and soul that we are one with the omnipresence of God. We do not have to pray that it come to us, that we are always not merely near it, but that God's omnipresence is our omnipresence, that we are just as much a part of him now as we ever will be. All we have to do is improve our knowing. I think it's easy as Kriya yogis. Kriya is a path of action, but we have to remember it's a path of union through action. We're here doing our practices, we're practicing the teachings, but we're doing that so that we can become one with God, with Brahma, as the reading said. It's easy to think that we can think our way there, or we can study our way there, or we can do so many kriyas and get ourselves there. We need to do all those things, but Jyotish spoke recently at the Minister's Retreat. Kelly G may have watched that online as well. He spoke of the importance of not so much talking about the teachings as becoming the teachings, becoming citizens of the light. And we were speaking about that this morning, Julie and I were, how much do we talk about the path with those we know or come into contact with? When do we, when don't we? And, Jyotish spoke to this very beautifully. He said, it's really about being a citizen of the light. That's when someone sees it in you, they're coming into contact with it. I do a lot of work with executive clients, and that's certainly a space that it's not appropriate for me to talk a lot about having a guru, right? But I can be in that light. I can use the words yoga, meditation. Those are all certainly really well known, and they feel it. And that's why they come. They're coming because they feel the light. They feel the guru. The word guru means dispeller of darkness. So when you're having that experience of Master through you in the world, no matter what you're doing, you're becoming that citizen of the light, and people know it and they can feel it. And they say, oh, I don't know why, but it feels so great when I'm with you. Right? So that's the difference between making it a theory and actually a practice. Jyotish also spoke to this becoming the citizen of the light is really, it starts and ends with your own sadhana. It really, truly does. It starts and ends with how do you greet the day? How do you end the day? Certainly we can weave things throughout the day, but that sadhana is the foundational piece for becoming the citizen of the light. And that it happens minute by minute. It's not over years and you say, oh, now I'm a citizen of the light. Now I have self-realization. It's in each moment. It's in the present moment. In fact, it can only happen in the present moment because the present moment is the portal. It's the portal to infinity. That's where it happens. When you're facing a challenge, do your best to surrender it to God, Christ, and gurus. Offer it up as much as you can and say, maybe you made a mistake, right? You say, I made a mistake. Master taught, feel as if God made the mistake through you, is making the mistake with you. There's no separation on this path between you. This is where Debbie, the disciple, was getting really confused, the separation between the form and the formless. Asha spoke recently about how it's really quite simple. And I don't know about you, but I absolutely stalk Asha on social media because I love her teaching and everything that she's doing with spreading the word of Swamiji's teachings and Master all over the world. I highly recommend you check her out. She said, it's quite simple. Meditate and spend time with others who are doing it. That's why we come together. That's why some of us drive long distances to be together. Because when you're spending time with other people who are doing it, it's where two or more are gathered. There I am. Master also taught that this Christ consciousness is at the center of every atom. And the difference between, he didn't teach this, but I'm going to tell you, the difference between the masters and us is that the masters are one with it all the time, right? And we've experienced that. You might have experienced it when you were looking at a beautiful sunset, or when you were listening to a beautiful piece of music, when you were chanting. You experience becoming one with it. We have all had experiences of being one with super consciousness, with Christ consciousness. It's not separate from us. We don't have to pray that it comes to us. Athletes oftentimes talk about going into the flow state, right? We know when we're in flow and we know when we're not in flow. We can feel it. So trust that and then build on it. Feel it, trust it, and cultivate it, build on it. It's moment by moment. The ace in the hole in this entire search for God is the guru. And we can't forget about that race. And it is so much bigger than our little selves. We have to give our entire effort, but we have to remember that the gurus are working on our part. When Joe and I were visiting the Hermitage in Encinitas, California, the Hermitage that Roger C., which was Yogananda's, one of Yogananda's most advanced disciples, built for Master when he was on a ship going back to India. He bought this piece of land in San Diego in Encinitas and built this shrine temple for him. And we were there taking a tour of the shrine. And I hadn't heard these two stories, but I'll share them with you. They're not written down anywhere, but I heard them from one of the SRF nuns that was giving us the tour. One was that there was a beautiful outside pool there that Master never swam in. What he did was he filled it with fish. And the reason that the disciples knew that he was one with Brahma was that when he would walk to one end of the pool, the fish would follow him. And then he'd walk to the other end of the pool and the fish would swim that way. And so they were going back and forth, just following Master wherever he went. There's another beautiful story that I had never heard before that took place at that hermitage. Master and some disciples were sitting outside on the lawn, and it's a very expansive view over the Pacific Ocean. And they were all meditating. And all of a sudden, Yogananda saw in the distance a ball of light coming from the horizon across the Pacific Ocean, rolling, rolling, rolling towards them. And the ball of light, as it reached them and landed on the grass, was Yukteswar. And Yukteswar, none of the other disciples saw it, but Master saw it. Yukteswar was weaving himself among the disciples. And so that's what we really want to remember, is that the gurus are here all the time, and they are helping us. We don't have to pray or work harder. We just have to be able to receive their blessings and cultivate a state of being. You know, Ananda isn't a place. Pilgrimage is wonderful and it can be life transforming, but Ananda is a state of being. And when you're in that state of being, you're receiving the grace of the gurus, and they are here. I'll leave us with one final reading. It's one of my favorites. This is from How to Awaken Your True Potential, the Wisdom of Yogananda series. This is on what Master said. Wait a minute. This is not what I'm looking for. It's at the beginning here. Appreciate your patience here, friends. I think during the journey down, it got bookmarked. Well, I've lost it, but I'll tell you what he said. He said, I see all of you as images of light. You have no idea how beautiful you all are. That's how I see you. You're all light. You're nothing else but that. Bless you all.
Greetings, friends who don't happen to be in the room but are with us in spirit. Thank you, Omshanti. That was lovely. I'm going to emphasize the other reading, which is energy, the affirmation. And I thought it was very interesting. You know, when we learn the energization exercises, we learn the greater the will, the greater the flow of energy. And in this particular reading, Swamiji said, the greater the faith, the greater the will, the greater the flow of energy, which was a little different than what we are used to hearing. And so I decided I would look into what else Swamiji had written about energy. And in his book about awakening to super consciousness, there's several chapters he says about energy. One is the connection between the mind and the body is an energetic connection, but also the connection between the causal and then the astral and then the material. That astral part is an energetic part. So as above, so below. And I think it's just kind of nice to re-look at how we came into existence so we can sort of get a sense for how we go back. And that's what he's trying to share in this book about super consciousness, because he's teaching about, well, first of all, there's some very, very great saints who have found God. We listened to the song about Saint Francis and then there's other saints, especially Catholic saints, who have very, very strong devotion, but they also get stuck because they have this strong, strong devotion, but they don't have the energy, that sense of energy that we've learned in our techniques, which is really a wonderful, wonderful blessing. We have to experience that energy, and through the energization exercises, we start to tune into it. And then, of course, with our practices, Hong Sa and then Kriya, we have the sense of the energy rising up to the point between the eyebrows and then descending, rising and descending. And of course, this being the North Pole in the body and down by the tailbone being the South Pole, it's all very, very dynamic, and it's all very real. And most people, and I'm talking, including the saints, get stuck because they're so devoted in their heart's devotion, but then what to do with the energy? And we have a strong sense of how to use it, which is such an incredible blessing. As Master said, this is the airplane path to God. Imagine if we were just, well, we have been, let's face it, many incarnations really trying. How many monasteries, how many caves, who knows? I don't. And here we are. But what an incredible blessing to understand that the difference, the way out of this preoccupation, frankly, with form and into the divine has to be an energetic one. And I love that part of the greater the faith, the greater the flow, the willpower, and the greater the flow of energy. Because what is faith? Faith is knowing and having an experience of truth. And once we have that experience, we can then use that and have more willpower to get anywhere. And of course, as Swamiji talks about in the Raja course and multiple places, the greater the flow of energy, the greater the magnetism. And the greater the magnetism, the greater the ability to attract to you whatever you need when you need it. And the greater the ability to be a success. And the other thing I think is important to talk about, because many of us are in a capacity of a healing relationship with various people. Omshanti through her service, Dave through landscaping, and Kelly through what she's doing, nursing. I'm a doctor. And one thing that's really important to understand is part of the healing has to be with freeing up the energy. And if the energy is stuck, we're stuck. I have some experience on sailboats, and I don't know how many of you do, but when you're in irons, the sail is just flapping like this, and you're not going anywhere. And a lot of people get into irons for a long time. They're just stuck. And so here we have, and Swamiji would say, if you don't know what to do, just put out your energy and do something. Because once you get the sailboat just going a certain direction, grace and divine will carry you to where you'll know what to do. And I just saw recently someone who I've known for a very long time, still very, very disturbed about things she was disturbed about 30 years ago. And it had to do with a very important relationship. And I thought, I'm so sorry that she is still stuck. And we have this blessing where with our practices and with Master and Divine Mother's grace, they're lifting us because we're just trying to reach up and we're offering ourselves into that light. And what also comes to mind with these readings today is it takes one to know one. John the Baptist was sent to bear witness to Christ. He was so already practically in that consciousness, and the rest of, I will say us, we're just seeing a human form. And another thing that I can't say enough about is having the great blessing of Swami Kriyananda in our lives. Because Swamiji was that light. And he lived it. He lived through a lot of challenges. He lived through a lot of, well, as Master said, he said, you'll be crucified. He was crucified. And he never, and as he said, it was, what was it? It was like a PG Wodehouse saying, it was a little stirred, but not shaken. So we're all going to have those times where we're persecuted and people trying to tear us apart. And anybody who is standing in truth, there will be the other side always trying to take it away. But we have this incredible potential, and we have this incredible blessing of Master's grace and God's grace. So going back to, if you have faith, you can move mountains. And that's putting out the energy with your faith, with your willpower, and miracles happen. And Swamiji even says, there really aren't miracles. He said, it's just we haven't understood the means yet, but there's no miracles. But we all see miracles in our lives. I've certainly seen miracles in my life. It's just the operation of God's laws underneath what appears. So I think I will not get too in the web, because there's a lot of webs I can go down with all of this conversation. But the main thing to really be clear about is, as Omshanti was saying every morning, God, Christ, Guru, God, Christ, Guru. It's a new day. I'm rejoicing in it. I'm willing to serve you in it. You be the doer, and let's do it together. And it's an amazing thing what can happen. And the other wonderful thing about it is you don't have to worry that if it's a disaster, it's like, we did it together. And if it's not a disaster and it turns out great, it's like, thank you, Divine Mother, we did it together. But so much of our culture and I'm going to speak of athletes as well, but it's from an egoic place. And the ego is what really holds, it's that Gordian knot that holds us and ties us down. And if we can just get that wind in our sails rather than doing this, we can really move. And what a great blessing. What an incredible blessing. So it's been a joy. I love seeing you all here. I love sharing this with you. And as I think about, I was sharing with Om Shanti, Master would speak to thousands. He'd go all across the country and speak to thousands. And afterwards he would say, well, maybe 5 people will join me. So there's a lot of people that are just still going to be needing to learn other ways until they're finally, really what happens, frankly, isn't it true? We're all so desperate. It's like, come help us. It's like we get to this place where we just can't do it anymore. And we really ask for God and for something to come and share. How do I get out of this mess? And we have it. Thank you. And thank you for sharing it. And this is what helps us all go forward together, as we get to celebrate in it and support each other through it. God bless you. I think it's now, absolutely.
I found the reading that I'd love to read for you, and then we'll do our offering.
Okay.
Because it's very powerful what Master is saying here, and it ties in beautifully what Gurupriya is sharing. Come out of your closed chamber of limitation. Breathe in the fresh air of vital thoughts. Exhale poisonous thoughts of discouragement, discontentment, or hopelessness. Never suggest to your mind human limitations of sickness, old age, or death, but constantly remind yourself, I am the infinite, which has become the body. Take long mental walks on the path of self-confidence. Exercise with instruments of judgment, introspection, and initiative. Feast unstintingly on creative thinking within yourself and others. Above all, cultivate the habit of meditation. This is the inner switch you turn on to connect yourself with the infinite. Hold on to the after effects of meditation by your attention. You will then find that you are a reservoir of power in body, mind, and soul. By constantly holding in mind the peaceful effects, after effects of meditation, by feeling immortality in the body, and by feeling the ocean of God's bliss beneath the changeable waves of experiences, the soul can find perpetual rejuvenation. You are all God's if you only knew it. You must look within. Behind the wave of your consciousness is the sea of God's presence. Claim your birthright. Awake, and you shall behold the glory of God.
We'll have our offertory now. Take what you'd like to give, place it in your right hand, and repeat after me. Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
we offer to thee the fruit of our labors.
we offer to thee the fruit of our labor.
Bless this offering,
Bless this offering,
that it serve as a channel of thy light
that it serve as a channel of thy
to
light
truth-seeking souls everywhere.
to truth-seeking souls everywhere.
This song, The Man That Was Jesus, is from Swami's oratorio. The man that was Jesus had shown his pure form. Upon a high mountain he stood, transfigured, 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 transfigured in light, that his chosen might see that he was a Christ, a hope of a hope, a joy toward thee.